this begins a whole sordid thing, Brian. There's the Miz and Kit Wilson, Mr. Toxic guy. And Miz is saying, hey, this whole curse thing from Danhausen is a myth. It's bullshit. And Danhausen suddenly appears behind him. Of course, they're making it so obvious now. Isn't it a little annoying that somebody in the Danhausen skit has to turn away from Danhausen and there has to be an unnatural zoom in of a close-up on that person for no reason so they can zoom out and he's gone? They're a multi-billion-dollar publicly traded company. There are effects. There's a little kid. I'm not talking about CGI, but goddamn, there's a few other camera moves that you could do to kind of fucking... Anyway, Danhausen shows up behind him with a jar of teeth. And he'll come to the ring with them and help them out and everything. They're going to win the tag team titles. And Kit Wilson said, you are toxic. But then Danhausen says, I'll undo the curse if you let me come to the ring with you. And Miz says, hey, you take your curse and shove it. And then Danhausen disappears again after another close-up on Miz. And again, they're not doing David Copperfield style magic in the round. If they could just, do you see what I'm saying, Brian? If he could bail in a different effect.
We've seen the same intro and the same disappearance now on both shows going back a month or so. And I get a kick out of Danhausen's stuff, but that has to be changed. Because like you said, it's every time now. Camera does a close-up of the guy, all of a sudden Danhausen's there. Camera does the second close-up, Danhausen ducks out of the picture and disappears.
And you're not doing the live magic in the round to where this needs to be like legitimate to everybody in the fucking picture and et cetera. You're doing pre-tapes in the back that can be all right. So then they have the tag team title match, and Jesus Christ, Brian, we skip a week or two of these people, and Damian Priest and R-Truth are the tag team champions. You remember this happening?
I did not watch this. I have not seen these recent developments in the tag team division.
Well, there they were. And again, a couple Fridays ago was rotten, and we skipped it. But you can almost tell in Priest's work, it seems like he's slowed down about a revolution. And they've given up on him. He's in a tag team with the comedy guy and he's working with another comedy guy. So Priest and Truth against Miz and Wilson, and they have this match, and I didn't care about the match, so that's not the point, but here is the finish. I got to be honest with you. I think Tony Khan would have been offended by this as being too fake if somebody pitched it to him. So Priest and Wilson are on the floor, and Priest clotheslines Wilson, and then they both just go down, and Priest stays down for no reason. He's the one that just did this, but they just lay on the floor because they got to be out of the picture for the next couple minutes. Meanwhile, there's thousands of people in the building watching them just lay there on the fucking floor. So Miz and Truth have a double knockout in the middle of the ring, and Danhausen's music plays. And he makes his entrance down the aisle and goes to the ring. And I mean, it's not like he's running. And he gets up on the ring apron to take the tag. And Miz and Truth, meanwhile, through his whole entrance, have been motionless in the ring, like Priest and Wilson are outside the ring. So then Miz looks up, and either he's just gobsmacked of the gall of this guy, or he's thinking about it or whatever, but he looks at him for a while with Danhausen saying, tag me. And then he says, get out of here. And then Miz goes in the corner and argues with the referee forever. while Truth slowly turns over and looks and milks. Once he finally started milking it, the people got with it, but it took a second, more than a second. So finally, as he's milked the people, Truth, he tags Danhausen. And then Danhausen gets in the ring, and Miz turns around and sees him and tells him, get the fuck out of there. And Danhausen winds up to curse Miz, but Miz pulls the referee. My poor old friend Rudy Charles in the front of him, and Danhausen accidentally curses the referee. So then he has to apologize to the referee. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Like he's just, it set him on fire is Danhausen's reaction. Oh my God, I didn't mean. And then Miz grabs the full Nelson on Danhausen, but the lights go out. And when the lights come back on, Miz is standing with empty arms in the ring, and Danhausen is at the entryway scurrying off.
He's running. You see him running away. I don't know if that was intentional or not. You're supposed to see him running.
They cut to the shot.
I guess so.
They cut to a shot of Danhausen in the entryway scurrying away.
You know, this is one of those things we killed the indies for, and early days of AEW, some of the stuff we saw, you know, the Invisible Man, that kind of stuff on the indies. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Again, this episode, I like Trick Williams and Lil Yachty, and I didn't like a single other thing on this episode. And this seems like a major step backwards.
Imagine this, a 3-hour show, and the only thing good I've said is they ought to hire some rapper that I've never heard of before. But nevertheless, the match is still going on now, because now if fucking Danhausen is scurried away and fucking Miz was, gobsmacked, and here comes Truth. And now, man, meanwhile, again, Priest and fucking Dipshit have been down forever. So Priest and Miz do a little thing, boom, 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 and Miz hits his finish on Truth, and the referee goes to count 1, 2, and then screams in pain and grabs his right arm and can't count and is, oh my God, he's in agony because he's been cursed. And then in the middle of all of this, Truth tags Priest, and Priest hits his finish on Miz, and the referee counted with his left hand. But Miz was like, what are you doing? And he's, I can't. Oh, it hurts. I actually wrote, now I have to quit watching SmackDown. If I'm applying the same fucking logic, should we give them 1 week grace period to try to come out of this stupor?
Well, I think we got to give them at least until WrestleMania, just because we're a couple weeks away.
Because I actually am interested in a couple of things at WrestleMania. Unlike almost everything else that anybody ever does ever anymore. And they're feeding me this shit. Now, the segment's not over yet. But your thoughts on the cursed referee?
Do you think maybe Danhausen put a curse on the creative team? And that's what's causing all this? No, I don't like it. Again, it's been fun, some of the Danhausen stuff, and cutesy, and I don't mind him going out there throwing t-shirts to the crowd or getting a pop for a backstage segment, although, like we said before, they got to mix it up a little bit. But to me, this is a step too far. Once Magic is introduced, that's right there with teleportation for me.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. The referee did a good job. I mean, for whatever it's worth, the referee did a good job of selling that Magic has stopped him from being able to count the pin because of Magic Pain. But
yes,
this isn't pro wrestling. This is Lucha Underground, or this is a mockery of wrestling when Danhausen's used like this.
Well, and then they went to replays, but the segment wasn't over because when they come back from the replays of this fiasco, as if we needed to be reminded of what we just seen, Cody comes out, hits the ring, and just gives poor old kid a crossroads in the middle of the ring. He wipes his feet on this guy. And then takes the microphone and cuts another promo on Orton and McAfee. And there was again, this was so odd. Like, he called McAfee a stoner, grifter, Logan Paul without muscles, human hat rack. I mean, there was some good shit. But the promo it was supposed to be appealing again to inside smart fans or smart mark or whatever the phrase is, just stuff that neither one of these guys naturally has ever had historically said in promos. Cody said this reveal, McAfee, it's like if the third man after Hall and Nash was Disco Inferno instead of Hulk Hogan.
No reaction.
Well, yeah, because people are like, well, yeah. And then at the same time, this was an inside shoot promo because Cody made he specifically used the verbiage, "You and everybody who represents you can kiss my ass." Fire me? It worked out for you great the last time, didn't it? But there looked like there was enough vehemence in it that I think that on some level Cody is pissed, and he was really enjoying saying that. Does that make any sense to you?
It does, I guess.
He was having a meltdown on a couple of different levels that I'm not sure everybody got. I'm not sure that the fans got the...
They didn't get any of this. I don't know who this is for exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure that the fans got the point of the whole thing, besides the insult to McAfee, but also I think maybe somebody in creative or whoever's representing who, I think he's not pleased with them either. He knows this is shite. It was very heartfelt, is what I'm saying.
If there was ever a week where you tried to convince me Vince Russo was writing for WWE again, this may have been the week.
There you go.
They have not done any favors for Cody. I'm not a fan of the work shoot promos because even the crowd you're trying to appeal to with that, they see through it. You can't get away with that right now with this. No one's going to buy that this is anything other than what it is. And what it is right now is a bad build for a main event match at WrestleMania. If I was Cody Rhodes, I would be pissed off. I mean, he comes out there, he's like, Stephanie McMahon, who I respect so much, why are you saying that? Who is this promo for? You guys have lost the plot. They succeeded in getting everyone behind Cody, and now they've succeeded in running all of those fans off. It's astounding.
You are pounding on the desk there, pal.
I threw something and then I put my fist down, but now I did it again.
See, I'm accused of being all the, active over demonstrative over here, and it's got you fired up too. And then he had to defend the business that he had done. I've done the bit. I was sold out, and I'm finally hearing the voices in my head, and you don't want to know what they say. But they're trying to have Cody defend the business that he's done as champion, which the fans are really going to give a shit about, except for the fucking people like us that comment on all these inside things. That ain't going to fill the fucking stadium.
Yeah, the average fan watches SmackDown and Raw and then watches again the next week. These thoughts that the WWE put in their head this week are not thoughts that the average fan has. Like, the ratings for last week's show were the all-time worst, where things have been awful. Or I wish things can go back to the way they were 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago. These weren't thoughts that their base fan were having. Not the people that
they've run those people off. People like me, they've run them off because those regular folks don't get paid to watch this stuff. So the people that felt that way are listening to us because they've run them off. But they don't need to tell their current audience the truth about everything that's wrong with their show, do they?
Remember when Will Ospreay did that promo? You want to talk about what sucks about AEW? What was it, the line? It was like, you want to talk about what makes AEW awful? You're what makes AEW awful. You're the reason it's awful. It doesn't help. They introduced a bunch of concepts to fans here in the Pat McAfee promo and now the Cody promo that don't help the company, don't help the build of the match, don't help Cody. Because around this time, Jim, I needed a nap.
I'll tell you exactly what I was